Well, it's a 1 for the money, 2 for the show.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Dang it. That is the wrong button. Hold on.
You've been gone a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit. All right, let's try this one.
Okay. All right. Welcome to My Dad's Movie Podcast. I'm Mick Johnson. I'm the dad. And with me, Tabor Johnson, my son.
And I'm back. That's what I should have done when I pushed that one, because that's the we're back button.
Right.
So I should have done that. Yeah, I'm back. Good to be here.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, have a good night. So, off topic, have you seen Sinners or Weapons yet?
I have seen Sinners. I have not seen Weapons, I don't think.
What did you think of Sinners?
I thought it was pretty good.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Who are those actors?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. But he's
both.
He's both,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I was thinking of the same movie you were thinking of.
Yeah, and he's Adonis Creed
Yes.
in the Creed movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two movies that I've watched recently. I've watched Sinners and I watched Weapons, and I thought both of them were really freaking fun. Oh, and then I saw a movie that came out in 2014 called Last Shift, which Cody had me watch. Cody Newton.
Cody Newton, shout out.
Friend of the podcast.
That
yeah.
seems weird that we're throwing him into
An episode of the podcast. I know.
Okay.
And you would not believe, it's a super independent movie. It was like filmed on like $200,000, very, very cheap. And Cody wanted us to watch it to show that you don't need a lot of money to get your feature film
Right.
made. So he was trying to like make a point. And you would never guess who was in it. Not Jeffrey Jones.
He was not.
No, I know. Sorry, I just wanted to get these out of the way early.
Okay, check off Cody Newton, check off Jeffrey Jones.
Chekhov's gun. Who are we talking about today?
We're talking about Roger Corman. Actually, not somebody that I probably would have just picked because I don't know anything about Roger Corman. In fact, I don't think I'd ever even heard of him.
Or known of his existence?
Yeah. But evidently he was pretty big in, his day in Hollywood. So
why are we talking about Roger Corman today?
So we had a giveaway, a Patreon giveaway, and Jared Lauder ended up winning.
Yeah. Shout out to Jared. You've decided to take your hard-earned money and send it our way and help us start to build this little podcast that we got going on. And so we're very, very grateful for that. And we are having Jared on the show later today, right?
He's going to make a cameo appearance. Yes.
Cameo appearance.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. All your levels still sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Jared Lauder.
Hello. This is him.
Hey, it's Mick with My Dad's Movie Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
And Tabor's here too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tabor.
Tabor's here. I forgot about him. Sorry, bud. So, Jared, we've got you on the podcast for a few minutes. First, we wanted to thank you for being a Patreon subscriber. We think that's just awesome that I've noticed you're always making comments on the episodes, which I really appreciate. And now you're even donating some money to help keep us going, which we really, really appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, anything.
So Jared, give us, before we get into other things, give us a little bit of background how you ended up coming across the podcast and how you know Tabor and those types of things.
Well, it started with a Facebook announcement. Tabor was working on a feature script at the time, and I met him through a mutual friend, and we tried to get that off the ground, and for some reason, we could not get that going. Sometime later, he's playing Dungeons and Dragons with a roommate of mine.
Yeah.
Of course he was.
And just kept in tabs with him, and he had some short films that he was looking for help, and I volunteered my time and efforts.
Yeah.
Right on.
And one thing led to another. Now I'm his de facto script supervisor or script continuity person or whatever you want to call that position.
Yeah.
For Rat's Nest Productions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
He's so he was talking about a feature. I wrote what I thought was a feature.
Sure.
And I was just like, all right, let's go out and shoot this thing. And I thought that you write the script, you grab a camera, and you go out and just shoot it. And that's not how that's done. It's
not.
way above my head.
Is there a little more involved?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it was very ambitious of me to try to film a feature on my first go.
Sure.
So short films are definitely way easier, more manageable, and having Jared on those sets, he's definitely seen that it's a lot more manageable to do a short film. We can do more of them. So Jared could learn something on one film and then, 4 months later, take what he learned and you apply that to the next short film.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
exactly.
And that's good that you've got somebody that can kind of manage the script and keep things on track. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
So like Jared said, for continuity, there's nothing worse than watching a movie and there's all kinds of stuff in it that's in the wrong spot or this doesn't make sense, how we got here.
There are some instances where it works, but most times if the scenes are not consistent, it just messes the movie up.
Another thing that a script supervisor does is keep track of what shots we have done already and what we still need.
Yeah, because everything's out of order.
Yeah, so a script supervisor can tell you, hey, listen, you might want to shoot a close-up of Joe Estevez. I don't know why I used his name. We were just talking about Joe Estevez. But you might want to shoot a close-up because I'm looking at my notes here. You have a close-up of this guy, but you do not have a close-up of this guy. So I want to make sure that we at least have that coverage and stuff like that.
Right.
So
you need that in editing and production.
Correct.
Right. And another thing that a script supervisor does is keep track of which shots work and which ones don't and why they don't or why they do.
So, Jared, tonight we're talking about Roger Corman. And the reason we're talking about Roger Corman is because you had recommended or sent a message to me saying that you'd really like to see an episode or listen to an episode on him. So I kind of wanted to find out why. What do you like about Roger Corman? Why did you want him?
So Roger Corman is considered to be the king of the B movies. And the reason why is because he would shoot so many movies for low to mid budget, and he would shoot them consistently. Some of them work, some of them don't. Being a fan of like the horror host type shows like Elvira or the Mystery Science Theater 3000, where it's like some of them are really campy, some of them are really bad, but they're always entertaining.
Right.
And that's what Roger Corman specializes in. It's not that he goes out to shoot B movies, he just goes out to shoot movies. He's also what I consider to be a director's director. And the reason why is because he's worked with so many prolific directors. A lot of the people that will be mentioned on your podcast have worked with Roger Corman in the past.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you can corroborate this story. Dad said that Little Shop of Horrors was shot in 2 days.
Yes.
Oh my
so
we have corroboration.
That's insane. That's about how long it takes us to do one of our 48-hour film festivals. How do you shoot a feature in 48 hours? That's astonishing.
So there were 4 movies that I think you had mentioned, Jared, that you were interested in hearing about. And we picked 2 of them. One is The Raven, and the other one is The Masque of the Red Death. I was kind of curious. Now, have you seen all of Roger Corman's movies?
That is my ultimate bucket goal.
So between the 2 that I mentioned, The Raven and The Masque of the Red Death, which one do you like better?
I have, to be honest, I have yet to see Masque of the Red Death. I'm probably going to watch that this week. But The Raven was surprisingly humorous.
Yeah, I had a good time with it. I thought it was funny. I really liked it.
I mean, who knew Boris Karloff could be funny?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Jared, I'm glad that you were able to come on. I wanted to do a shout out for you. Also,
Well, thank you.
congratulations on winning the October Patreon gift
Yeah.
or the giveaway. And so that was really cool. And yeah, we really appreciate your patronage and how much you comment and how much you're supporting us. We think it's fantastic.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And I got some short films in the works, so I'll keep you posted, man. I'm excited. We got the new IFF coming out this winter, so I'm being in the hospital for as long as I was. I missed the H-48, and I was upset about it.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
And so Rat's Nest Productions is coming out swinging for the IFF this year.
Yeah, you had a lot of time to lay around and come up with some scripts. You should have been plugging some stuff.
I should have been
out.
writing. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Jared, and thank you very much for the awesome recommendations. If anyone else would like to recommend movies for us to watch or recommend directors for us to look at, sign up for our Patreon. If you sign up for the $5 tier, you can suggest directors for us to look at, and all of our other patrons will also be able to vote on your suggestions, and maybe you might be lucky enough to come on the show and talk about why we selected your director. So,
right on.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Jared.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Jared.
no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll see you around, buddy.
So Roger Corman, born April 5th, 1926, and died May 9th, 2024. Not too long ago.
I remember the day he died. I was seeing stuff about it all over Facebook.
Oh, really?
All over YouTube, because I'm subscribed to a lot of filmmaking channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the channels were like, we lost a good one today.
Well, yeah, looking at the movies that he put together and the people that he really helped get into the industry. I mean, good grief.
Yeah.
In fact, I had read they called him a few different things. He was known as the Pope of pop cinema. He was the spiritual godfather of the new Hollywood, and he was the king of cult. They also referred to him as a trailblazer in the world of independent film. So that's quite a bit.
So the spiritual godfather of New Hollywood. Do you know what New Hollywood is?
I do not.
Okay, so New Hollywood.
I don't even know what old Hollywood is, but
old Hollywood was Clark Gable, stuff like that.
okay.
All those movies that were, shot on big sets, and everything took place on those sets, and it was kind of like
Cameras were gigantic.
and it was kind of like a play. They were filming a play. New Hollywood is Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese, George Lucas,
The people that he helped start out.
exactly. And so New Hollywood, right around the 70s, I think, I could be a little wrong on my facts, but they got rid of something called the Hays Code.
Oh, okay.
And the Hays Code was a list of rules that you had to follow if you were making a movie. There were certain things you couldn't do, there were certain things you could do, and stuff like that. And when they abolished the Hays Code, there was a brief period where there was kind of lawlessness, because the next thing to come was the MPAA, and that was PG, PG-13.
Okay.
Well, not PG-13, but R. PG-13 would come later.
Sure.
So all these young guys came up, and there was no rules. You could write about whatever you wanted. Like there was a rule that in the Hays Code, if you made a gangster movie, the gangster always had to die at the end, because he's a bad guy, and the bad guy has to get his comeuppance.
Right.
In The Godfather, Michael Corleone wins.
Yeah.
I mean, on the surface level, emotionally, he loses at the end of that movie. But the gangsters win, and it's showing you that gangsters are like normal people. And the Hays Code would be like, no. Gangsters are monsters.
Right.
We can't have any of that. So the rules changed, and that became New Hollywood. We got Taxi Driver. We got The Godfather. We got Star Wars. There was just so many different things you could do now.
Right.
And all of those guys got their start because of Roger Corman.
Right. Huh. That's pretty cool. So fairy tale endings aren't always the fairy tale ending in New Hollywood. Sometimes the bad guy comes out on top.
Yeah.
Right.
To quote one of our previous episodes, you see, Jack, in here, the bad guys can win.
Right. Hey, hold on one second. I'm going to open my grape crush.
There we go.
I just threw it all over my computer. That was brilliant.
The last episode we did, we had those bottles, and it was not a satisfying sound, was it?
No, you couldn't even hear anything.
I know.
We need to put one of those sounds on our soundboard.
That's a good idea. We'll do that. I don't even know what half of these soundboard buttons do. I don't want to push them, though.
I don't know.
At least not right now.
Play with it later.
Yeah. So what else you got on Roger Corman?
Oh, yeah. So born in Detroit, Michigan. He's an American film director, producer, and actor. So he's done a lot of acting also.
He gets a lot of cameos. A lot of the people who
Right.
grew up with him, they were like, hey, why don't you come be in my... Like, the reason why you thought he directed Silence of the Lambs is because he has a small cameo in Silence of the Lambs.
Right. Mother, Anne, I think her last name was High, but it's in parentheses, so I wasn't positive. And Father William Corman, he's a civil engineer. Roger Corman started out, he was going to be an engineer, right? He went to school for that. I think he went to Stanford University, got a degree in industrial engineering. Then he went and served a few years in the United States Navy. And when he came back, he went to work as an engineer for an electrical motor company. And it said he worked for 4 days, went to his boss and said, you know what, I made a mistake. And he quit. He was done with being an engineer. That was it.
Jeez.
And got into movies, into film, into whatever he could get into on that side of it. So
That's so insane to spend 4 years learning something and then to find out you don't like it.
yeah,
That's so...
that happens a lot though. You might be surprised.
Yeah. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, he went to work for 20th Century Fox as a messenger in the mailroom. I guess that's how he started with it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. A lot of those younger guys started like that. And back then that's what you did. You started at the lowest level and you worked your way up.
Right.
And my understanding now is that the industry is not like that anymore. That there's not a lot of room for upward advancement. So if you want to make something, you got to go do it yourself. You can't go to the mailroom and decide, oh, I'm going to work in the mailroom and work my way up.
Right.
You got to be like, okay, I'm going to buy myself a camera and I'm going to film my own movies.
Yeah. I didn't read that he moved up really, really quickly, but the impression I get is that, from the mailroom, I think he had a brother who was already involved in movies. I'd have to go back and look at it. I can't remember what his name is, but I did read that his older brother, was involved in with movies. And I think he worked in the mailroom for a while also. So he may have just been, I got in with my brother type of thing. He seems to like what he's doing. But I think he moved rather quickly in the industry. And one of the funny things I read about him is after he kind of got established and stuff, it sounds like he was extremely frugal and could take very little money and very little time and put together a movie, which is what a lot of people couldn't do.
It's so funny is that there was a ton of people when I was researching Corman, I was watching videos about him, and a lot of people always said that his motto was under time, under budget.
Right.
And he did that for everything. The Raven, one of the movies that we're talking about today, he shot in 15 days.
The Raven was 15? Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And there was another movie we're not talking about today, but it was another one of his, horror movies of the 60s era. I was told that one was shot in 15 days as well. I didn't get a chance to look up Masque of the Red Death yet, but I would imagine it was Not very many days to film that one either.
So a lot of times I think what he would do is he would do a movie, and if he was wrapping up the movie early, then he would start another movie, but he would use
The resources.
the set, some of the actors. He would just continue on into the next movie and just use what he already had. One of the running gags in Hollywood is that Corman could negotiate the production of a film on a payphone, shoot the film in the booth, and finance it with the money in the change slot. That's how good he was.
I love that. Oh, that's so great. I'm looking through Wikipedia here to see. So, Masque of the Red Death was shot in 5 weeks. So that's much longer than The Raven.
Yeah. Well, it did look like Masque of the Red Death was a little more elaborate.
Yes.
It seemed like there was a lot more going on than The Raven. Oh, did we even mention, we're talking about The Raven and the Masque of the Red Death tonight.
So, but this says shot in 5 weeks, which is considerably longer than The Raven by 2 weeks.
Right.
But movies today shoot for 5 months or longer.
Right.
Stanley Kubrick would shoot something for 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not an exaggeration. It would take 3 years to shoot an entire movie. It just goes to show that I'm sitting here complaining about what I have and what I can do. And, Roger Corman can do it in twice as fast and with half as much.
Right.
I mean, I need to finish my script now. I need to start working on something.
You should have Roger Corman help you.
Yeah. So we want to talk about The Raven first? Or do you have more about Roger Corman?
Hold on just a second.
You emailing Roger Corman?
I just found his email. I'm going to see if he responds. So Roger Corman received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Hollywood Boulevard in California on June 12th, 1991.
Nice. Freddy Krueger received his this year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Well, I don't know. Was it Freddy Krueger or was it Robert Englund? I can't remember because some people get their character on the star.
Who is playing who?
Robert Englund is playing Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger playing Robert Englund?
No.
Because that might be it too. I could see it going either way.
But Pee Wee Herman he got his star as Pee Wee Herman and not Paul Rubens.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Why would you do that?
I don't know. They said it was like The Prestige, that he lived the character the whole time, and that was the trick.
Oh, that doesn't make sense to me.
We need Michael Caine to explain it to us. You see, and then Paul Rubens was the size of a tangerine.
That was a pretty good...
The only thing I can say in Michael Caine's voice is tangerine and Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Those are the two things I can say. Someone once told me that Michael Caine just sounds like he's saying my cocaine.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, my cocaine. Wait, what did you say?
I said, give me my cocaine. Yeah. So you got anything else about him?
It's crazy. Is Jack Nicholson is sitting on his couch inside the house wearing his sunglasses because it's Jack Nicholson.
Sure.
So he's just sitting there on the couch talking about Roger Corman and doing his Jack Nicholson thing. And then they ask him a question and he goes, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. And he just gets so emotional and you're like, holy crap, this guy's human. And he starts crying because of how much of a impact that Roger Corman had on his life, and it just sent him in the direction he needed.
This was an interview later in life.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack Nicholson, I think the interview is 13 years old now.
Okay.
So it was before Corman died.
Yeah.
But it was, long after Nicholson had a career and, did Scorsese movies and stuff like that. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah. We want to talk about The Raven?
Let's talk about The Raven.
So I knew that I was going to like this movie when for the first 3 minutes of the movie, it's the Edgar Allan Poe story.
Okay.
And so you're like, okay, how are they going to stretch this short poem into a feature-length film? And so he goes over to The Raven, and when I say he, I mean Vincent Price, who's got one of the coolest voices in all of history.
Right.
It's incredible. Just that evil-sounding voice, the thing that he does. Well, he's just Vincent Price, and he just, so he
You're
goes,
really working on your impressions tonight.
I guess I must be. And he goes up to the Raven and he, is talking to the Raven and he says, who is that rapping, at my bedroom door?
Right.
And the Raven goes, how the hell should I know? And I laughed so hard.
And once you hear that voice, you pretty much know immediately who that Raven is.
Yeah. And it's, it's the actor Peter Lorre,
Right.
who I had not seen in anything
Oh, really?
until this. There's a big line in the sand for where my movies begin and end. So you're showing me the Goonies and all these 80s movies because you grew up with these.
Right.
And that's where my film knowledge starts. My film knowledge starts in the 80s. But your film knowledge didn't start there. You were growing up in the 80s, but you were watching stuff
Right.
that your parents were showing you.
Yeah, I'm older than you are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That, stands to reason. And so you probably watched a lot of Peter Lorre movies growing up, didn't you?
I probably did. To think of what they were off the top of my head, I couldn't, but I know that I knew who he was, and I've seen him in other things. Yeah. Very, very distinct sound, his voice, very distinct look. I mean, there's just no way you could miss who that was.
Okay, so I want to talk about both of those things, the distinct sound and the distinct look.
Yeah.
The distinct sound, I think he was wasted that entire shoot. I think he was drunk for 15 days straight. There were so many lines in this movie where he was just slurring his speech and just talking and being Peter Lorre.
Right.
And I was like, dude, that guy is drunk. And it took me 30 minutes to realize Jack Nicholson was in this movie.
Oh, yeah. When I first saw Jack Nicholson, when he first came on, I mean, I knew he was in it, but when I saw the character, I didn't realize at first that's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't even know he was in it.
Oh, okay.
So the scene that I was like, that's Jack Nicholson. He was in it for 30 minutes. And
Before
then there's
you realized it.
And then there's the scene where he's like, yeah. He's sitting
Right.
on the carriage and he's got that evil face. I was like, oh, dude, that's Jack Nicholson. Like I didn't
Put these sunglasses on.
I know.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. He was so young looking, just so different.
I know.
Yeah.
But Peter Lorre had this, distinct look. He had the heavy bags under his eyes and he had really big eyes and stuff like that. And the reason I know of him is not because of anything I've ever seen him in, is because he was parodied in tons of cartoons.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Looney Tunes, The Brave Little Toaster.
And looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
The cartoon looks exactly like him.
And so I researched, I was like, why were the Looney Tunes always making fun of Peter Lorre? And then I found out that they weren't really making fun of him, that it was kind of like a way to honor him.
Yeah.
Because the Looney Tunes were Warner Brothers.
Right.
And Peter Lorre, was heavily involved in the set decorator strike in 1945.
Okay.
And because Warner Brothers was wrapped up in that, they got mad at Peter Lorre and they never worked with him again.
Oh.
So the Looney Tunes were like, all right, you'll never work with Peter Lorre again, but we're going to make sure that you see his face everywhere.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So it was kind of like a nice way to honor him.
So give a brief synopsis of what's The Raven about.
So The Raven, the story, if my memory serves me correctly, it's been a while since sophomore English, but it was about a man who lost his wife and was slowly going mad in the loneliness of his own home. This movie is not about that. It's about three magicians who have a beef with one another.
Yeah,
And-
I was actually wondering about that because they were called Doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Erasmus,
Bedlow.
Dr. Bedlow, Dr. Scarabus. But they were all these sorcerers, kind of.
You need a doctorate to do that.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
You know, did they call them doctor? Is that what they called them back in those days? Is they were called doctor if they did stuff like that? I don't know.
I guess. Must have been. And it's really funny is that any three of those guys could have been the villain.
Oh,
Vincent Price,
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Lorre. The thing is, I imagine that got on set and Roger Corman's like, shoot, I didn't pick a bad guy. Just flips a coin. All right, Boris Karloff, you're the bad guy.
Yeah. Right.
And Boris Karloff died 6 years later.
Oh, really?
He wasn't around much longer. Vincent Price lived until 93, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But older movies are much slower.
Yes.
And so today's, TikTok audience is not mentally, attuned to the movies of the 60s and before.
Right.
They need that dopamine rush of, scrolling through videos and stuff
Right.
like that. But still, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was, goofy and silly and fun, and they had a good time with it. And there's the opening scene where Vincent Price is sitting on his couch. He's drawing the Raven with his finger using
Right.
the magic.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's one of those movies.
So this was black and white, but they used color for the special effects, right?
No,
Wasn't the movie black and white?
no, the whole movie's in color. Did you watch a black and white version?
I think maybe I did because I remember black and white, and then there would be color whenever they did stuff.
That's so weird.
Huh.
No, mine was in color.
I might have had my left eye closed
Oh,
and just watched it with my right eye.
with your bad eye?
Yeah, my blind eye. Yeah, I thought there was a lot of funny stuff in it. I thought Peter Lorre was just absolutely hilarious.
I loved him. He was great.
Yeah. And I had actually read Peter Lorre and Jack Nicholson were fond of ad-libbing their lines, and it sounded like Roger Corman was okay with that, just to kind of let them say stuff and let's see where it goes. And who was the one? Boris Karloff absolutely hated it, and he was annoyed because they would ad-lib these lines, and Boris Karloff was trying to go off the script. This is the script. This is what you say. This is the way it is. And everything would just go off the rails when those two would.
That's so funny because Jack Nicholson is considered New Hollywood,
Yeah.
and it was just different. And you run into that a lot where these old guys used to do it this way, and the new guys are doing it a different way. And so I try really hard in my personal life not to judge children because they're doing something different than me.
Yeah.
And, I let them do their thing, and I try not to be annoyed by their trends and stuff like that. I'm not going to jump on their apps. I never use TikTok. But, let them use TikTok. It's a different way of living. It's a brand new day. And that's what they experienced in Hollywood was things were drastically changing. And so Boris Karloff was now living in, starting to make the move to New Hollywood.
Well, yeah, exactly. He was old school, and they were morphing into the new school time, and he was just kind of in the middle of it.
His heyday was in the 30s.
Yeah.
Freaking 30s cinema. You never went off script in the 30s.
Right. Yeah. In fact, you said one of the lines Peter Lorre ad-libbed. How the hell should I know? That was not in the script.
That made me laugh so hard. And I was like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah. Well, there were multiple things. Like I wrote down while I was watching it, Peter Lorre, the feathers for his arms, when he's standing there flapping his arms and stuff. And what did you do to me? Oh, the other thing, they're folding up a casket cover. So Vincent Price, his character, so his wife is dead, or at least we think she's dead, and she's in this casket, right?
Lenore.
Yeah. And they go over and they take this cover off of the casket and they fold it up really neat and tidy and everything. And he hands it to Peter Lorre, and Peter Lorre throws it on the ground.
Yeah, I saw that.
He doesn't care.
I don't know why, but this just popped into my head thinking about Lenore. It just reminded me of, Hank, don't you recognize me? It's Lenore. When Bill goes crazy on King of the Hill.
Oh, that's right.
And he starts dressing like Lenore.
Right.
Why do you keep calling me Bill? My name's Lenore.
We got to do a King of the Hill podcast.
Yeah. And another thing, too, is watching these Edgar Allan Poe movies, it makes me really want to go back and watch Fall of the House of Usher, the one on Netflix.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
No.
Oh.
No, I haven't seen
It's so good. And each episode is named after an Edgar Allan Poe story. So the final episode, I think, is called The Raven. And I think the first episode is called The Masque of the Red Death.
Oh, okay. So one of the things I had read about was, you know, that Jack Nicholson was the son of Peter Lorre.
Yeah.
And Peter Lorre, I mean, just abusive to Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
That, I mean, and it said, according to Roger Corman, the hostility between Jack Nicholson and Peter Lorre as father and son actually came from the actors. It didn't come from the script. Those two were actually rather hostile towards each other just doing the acting.
Huh.
Yeah.
They kind of dug deeper into the script and kind of
I'm
created...
assuming, I can't imagine they really hated each other, but I think for the characters and what they were supposed to be. Right.
Yeah. And it's so funny is that sometimes when I'm writing a script, I put all the character work into the script. And sometimes when I'm writing a script, it's very just tell the story. And then the actors kind of fill in. You know, there's been several times where I've been working with an actor and they'd be like, well, my character would do this. And I'd be like,
right.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And they just kind of, actors just create who their character is and fill in all the blanks, the stuff that you wouldn't get from the script.
Right.
So it's really cool that they decided, hey, these two have a tense relationship. They just decided that.
Well, the dad thinks the son is an idiot, and the son wants to prove that he's a man.
Yeah.
Right. And, I mean, really, that kind of happens in real life a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, father and son relationships.
Happens on this show.
Sometimes. When you play with bottle caps and plastic bags during the show.
And then I really liked the wizard showdown at the end of this movie.
Yeah. The special effects. I mean, I know that when we watch movies nowadays, special effects, you know, are just like a lot of times out of this world. But special effects back then, what they did with that for what they could do, I thought was pretty good. Yeah.
One of the things I noticed about The Raven was that it was shot very high-key lighting.
Tell me, what does that mean?
So high-key lighting means things are very well lit, and low-key lighting means there's lots of shadows and lots of darkness. And so, like, The Godfather used a lot of low-key lighting. Okay. Almost everything is in shadow. And this movie used a lot of high-key lighting. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were using sets. And back in the day, it wasn't about realism. It was about lighting your play. You were making a play and performing it for a camera. And so everything was really well lit. There was hardly any shadows.
Right.
And when we were watching the Wizard Duel, I don't know why, but it just reminded me of 1960s Disney movies. You know how those look like bed knobs and broomsticks and all that stuff. Everything was well lit.
Right, exactly.
Everything was on a set. And that stuff doesn't hold up today. But I kind of had like a nostalgic feeling for it. I was like, oh, that reminds me of growing up and watching Mary Poppins and Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Right.
All those 60s movies, they all had that high key lighting and everything. Yeah. There was not a lick of shadow anywhere.
I also noticed the music in it. I wrote down on my notes, very cartoonish.
Yeah.
It was like we were listening to a cartoon.
Yeah.
From the music.
I really liked it. I thought it was fun. Had a good time.
I thought it was okay. You were talking about the duel. I actually kind of liked the duel part of it also, and I thought it was really funny that during the duel, the whole time leading up to it, it seems like Vincent Price, he seems a little bit timid.
Reluctant.
About his magic and stuff, and Boris Karloff is the Grand Wizard or whatever. And then when they get into this duel, all of a sudden, Vincent Price, he has this smugness, this look on his face, and it's like, you're doing this petty little, baby magic, and he's countering it with his stuff. And
yeah.
It was kind of funny, that little change all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think we're good with this one.
Yeah, you want to? All right, we'll take a break. And we're back.
Are we back?
We're back.
Okay.
All right, so we just finished Masque of the Red Death.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It definitely picked up for me at the end.
It was a little slower than even The Raven. These are old movies. I mean, good grief. They're not going to be, huge,
bombastic,
action-filled stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought the acting on it, I thought was really good. I thought the story was really interesting. And Vincent Price, who I've never really seen a lot of stuff that he's done. He's old Hollywood. He did a lot of old stuff. But he's a really good actor.
I like him.
I was really impressed, especially at the end of this, the Masque of the Red Death. I was literally just thinking, man, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely brought the acting chops for the second movie. It was his playground for the first movie. He was playing, he was having fun, but I mean, he took this one seriously and was, I mean, there's a reason Vincent Price is held in such high regard, and it's because of movies like this.
Right.
Do you remember Vincent Price in Edward Scissorhands?
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. I love the Johnny Depp stuff. In fact, that's something we've really got to look at some movies. But no, I can't remember him.
He's the doctor at the beginning who creates Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, he is.
And it was one of his last roles before he passed away.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, in fact, all of those movies, Edward Scissorhands, all the Johnny Depp stuff, is all.
I noticed that last week.
I pulled them all out of the shelf, and they're sitting up there waiting for me to watch them.
So we're gonna have Depp Day.
There's gonna be, maybe a Depp month. I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. That's a great thing to do for Patreon, is to upload a couple of those, and we'll talk about all of them, but maybe some of them will be Patreon exclusives.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I was watching Masque of the Red Death, and it really got me excited. Like, I really want to rewatch Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. In fact, there's a lot of them I haven't seen, but you're right. These aren't movies for me. They're not movies that I would probably just sit down and watch just to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
But for the podcast, I watch stuff, and then I find out, man, I kind of liked that. You know, it wasn't a shoot 'em up aliens, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of these have really good stories to them, and in the special effects, you know, they try, but
I didn't think there was anything that was pretty egregious in this one. The special effects looked sillier in The Raven than they did.
yeah,
I don't think there was anything I saw that was like, there was that scene where they were doing the wizard duel and he throws that axe, and the axe is clearly someone had drawn something on a cell and was spinning it and overlapping it on the film frame.
right.
And that's how they did special effects back in the days.
And that was cool.
Oh, and something I wanted to bring up for both of these was, did you notice all of the matte paintings?
Tell me what that matte
So-
paintings. I probably did, but
A matte painting is a hand-painted like piece of glass, essentially.
okay.
And it's used for backgrounds. Nowadays, we would CGI the background. So you would have your actor in front, and then you would have some real scenery in the middle, and then the matte painting would be the background. So if like they're standing in front of a castle, the castle would be a matte painting.
Right. It's not a real castle.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was very, very common in those days. One of my favorite matte paintings is at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, when the guy's pushing that cart and he's got the ark and he's walking down the middle,
Right.
and there's just thousands of crates.
Right.
The only thing that's real is the sidewalk and the guy. Everything else around them is a matte
It
painting.
is all painted in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Vincent Price was in this one. I didn't see Peter Lorre in this one, but that's okay.
He doesn't have to be in all of them. Who's today's Peter Lorre? Oh, I know. Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi, just in case you listen to this episode, I'd love to get to talk to you about some of your movies.
Yeah. Let's get him on the show.
That'd be awesome. There was one particular actor in here that I really, really liked. And my kids think it's because, you know, there's something wrong with me. But the reality is, I really like little actors. I think they do a phenomenal job. They're so cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, the characters that they play. And I don't know. For some reason, I feel happy when I see
Yeah.
little actors.
And
right?
you know what I loved about him is that he wasn't a joke.
No, he wasn't.
They weren't making fun of him. He wasn't like this silly like sideshow
He
performer.
wasn't the jester.
He was a smart character and, you know, took control
Right.
of his situation. And when I watched this, I was like, oh, dude, this would be Peter Dinklage if this was remade today.
Absolutely.
Peter Dinklage would be that character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peter Dinklage is a phenomenal actor.
absolutely. He's so good.
So his name's Skip Martin, but his character, which was really funny, was Hop Toad.
I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, it's Hop Toad.
That's weird. I thought he was saying Hotto, like it was like some kind of foreign name or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So
No.
it was really hard to understand him when he was saying his name.
So, so I think he had something to do with like the entertainment and stuff.
Yeah.
You saw the part where the little girl was with him, and I think it was supposed to be
I think she was supposed to be a dwarf too.
right, but I think it was supposed to be like his wife or maybe somebody that he, you know, was in love with or something like that.
Yeah.
But right, she was just a little girl, and
And then Clockwork Orange threw the wine in her face.
right, but she had a few speaking parts, and I don't know if you noticed, but that was not her speaking.
Oh, yeah.
That was an adult actress
Oh, yeah.
just voicing over this little girl.
For sure.
Right. Which I thought was really weird.
And there was another part where I was like, is that voiceover? So when the Red Death is talking to Vincent Price, is that someone overdubbing Vincent Price, or is that Vincent Price's real voice? And the voice that he does otherwise is just an act. You know? What if the Vincent Price voice is just his character?
Right.
And then when he was the Red Death, that's what he actually sounds like.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Unless Vincent Price just actually talks like that. I'd have to see interviews.
He might. So Roger Corman shot this film in England, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted to take advantage of British tax laws. The British production with a British crew got him government subsidy. So this just kind of goes back to, I think, that how he figured out how to make movies and make them as cost effective as possible, get them in and get them out as quickly as possible, you reuse sets, everything, you know.
I read that was a point of contention of his as well.
Yeah.
He was upset that British crews move slower. He's like, if I was shooting this in America, this would be done already.
Right.
And James Cameron had the same problem doing Aliens. I don't know if you heard about that or if I ever told you that.
He may have on it.
He shot Aliens in England, and the crew gets a lunch like American crews do.
Right.
But then they also get tea time.
Yeah, tea breaks.
Yeah. And that was infuriating to him.
Right.
And so that almost shut down the entire production of Aliens. But that's another story for another episode. We'll talk about James Cameron later.
Yeah. The other thing that I had read about, and while I was watching the show, so Jane Asher, she plays Francesca. Yeah. And at the time that they made this movie, Jane Asher was 17.
Okay.
So she wasn't an adult. She was a minor. And there's a scene where they take her and throw her into a bathtub to have her get washed up. And she's naked. Now, we don't see, anything, but she's in the bathtub and she's naked and she's covering herself up. And I had read that at the time she was very shy about, she's a 17-year-old girl, I imagine.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And that she wanted to be covered up in certain areas and stuff. But it ended up, every time she tried to cover up, things wouldn't stay where they were supposed to. And in the end, it just turned out where she just kind of did what she needed to do and didn't worry about it anymore. And I was thinking, Hollywood back then, making movies back then, was a completely different animal.
You could kill a stuntman if you wanted to, just for the fun of it.
It was totally different. Here you've got a minor girl naked on the set with the film crew and other actors and stuff like that. And that's just what you could do. That was okay.
Yeah. And then in the 80s, they would clear the set for those sorts of scenes. And now today they have intimacy coordinators. It's evolving and getting better.
Well, I don't know about the intimacy coordinator.
Oh, you haven't heard about those yet?
No.
So like all those, sex scenes and nudity and stuff like that, there's an intimacy coordinator who not only helps the person doing the scene, but will also advocate for them and tell the director they're not doing that. Like it's in their contract that they'll do this, they won't do that, and I'm going to fight for them. So,
well, and I don't even, who in the world nowadays would take a minor and have them on the set? And you just wouldn't do that.
Not at all. An intimacy coordinator today would shut that down and probably get the movie shut down at that point. Speaking of closing the set, they made the director close the set for Chunk for the Truffle Shuffle.
No, they did.
Yeah, he was too embarrassed and he didn't want. So, a closed set means that they clear everybody out except for people who have to be there.
Right.
The director, the camera op, and
Probably the sound guy.
The sound guy. And everyone else has to costume, makeup, everyone else, they leave the set.
Oh, okay.
And in between takes, everyone can come back
That's funny.
and fix things. But
Right.
yeah.
So at the end of the show, we were watching all of these other colored people coming through. They had their different colored outfits on.
Yeah, people with different colored outfits. Yeah,
Yeah, that didn't sound right.
Let's
As it was
clarify
coming
that.
out of my mouth, it did not sound right.
So the Red Death, for those of you who didn't watch the movie, was wearing a red cloak.
Right.
And at the end of the movie, people with a whole bunch of different colored cloaks start coming in. And I was telling
They're
Dad,
kind of all gathering together.
yeah, it's like a meeting. I was telling my dad that I thought it was the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, but then a whole bunch of other people started shuffling in. I was like, okay, that's way too many horsemen. And then I had a theory, and Dad was like, well, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it is. And so tell him
What was your theory?
that they were different diseases.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's when I looked it up, what was going on, why were there. So you had the Black Death, the guy in the black cloak was the Black Death. You had a golden cloak, he was leprosy. You had a violet death, porphyria. Blue cloak guy, cholera. Yellow fever. White, tuberculosis. And then the red death cloaked guy was rabies, which I didn't realize. I knew that he was some sort of disease or some sort of death, but I didn't realize it was going to be rabies. I thought it was going to be something else. I don't know.
So seeing Masque of the Red Death, and then also seeing the TV show Follow the House of Usher, which is based on Edgar Allan Poe. And the thing is that each story or each episode is based off an Edgar Allan Poe story.
Yes.
So it was so crazy seeing the Masque of the Red Death, the movie,
Okay.
and then remembering back to the episode called The Masque of the Red Death. And there's so many similarities. Even so, the show is about this guy named Roderick Usher, who is a medicinal person who basically creates narcotics who end up killing millions of people.
Okay.
But it's a pharmaceutical, so he's kind of shielded from all that. And he has a whole bunch of children. They're all spoiled brats, all of them.
Sure.
And the youngest one, his name is Prospero,
Oh, okay.
which is the name of Prince Prospero in
Right.
Masque of the Red Death. So his episode, the episode about Prospero, that episode is called The Masque of the Red Death.
So all of these movies are kind of interrelated with each other.
So all of these movies are the Edgar Allan Poe story, but the TV show is a modernized show,
Okay.
but it keeps the themes of each of the story.
Okay.
So another episode is called The Raven, which if you watch the movie and you watch that episode, nothing is related because that movie goes off the rails. That's not,
Okay.
that has nothing to do with the actual poem.
Okay.
But my understanding is that the other episodes are still very based. Oh, like the Telltale Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that story?
Yeah.
The episode is a modern retelling, but then you like the minute the Edgar Allan Poe stuff starts happening, you're like,
Right.
oh, there it is. I recognize that.
Yeah. I gotcha. So the 8 films directed by Corman were adapted from the tales of Edgar Allan Poe and collectively came to be known as the Poe cycle.
Yeah.
So the 8 came together as the Poe cycle.
Do you know which ones they are?
No.
I'm going to look it up because I want to.
In fact, that's one of the things after this episode or at some point I wanted to look up. I don't know a lot about Edgar Allan Poe. So that would probably be good for me to know how to relate these to these movies.
I would really also recommend the TV show. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so these are his movies. House of Usher, which is the name of the TV show. The Pit and the Pendulum.
Hold on. These are whose?
These are Roger Corman's
Okay.
Poe cycle.
Okay.
So The House of Usher, which is the name of the entire TV show. The Pit and the Pendulum, which is one of the episodes toward the end of the show.
Okay.
Premature Burial. Burial. I don't think that's one of the episodes. Tales of Terror. That looks cool because it has, looks like it has Christopher Lee, has Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Basil Rathbone. So we got another Peter Lorre one. The Raven, which we talked about.
Right.
That's an episode of the show. The Haunted Palace. And The Tomb of Ligeia. I'm totally saying that wrong. But those are his 7 movies that he did. And not all of them are told in the show. So, but, you know, Edgar Allan Poe is something that we read in school, and I wish I had paid more attention to it because, you know, a lot of Poe stuff is kind of slower and takes a little while to get going. But I wish I had paid attention to. I wish I had paid attention in school more regardless.
Just in general?
In general, yes. Because
when you're in school, you don't realize that this is going to have anything to do with when you're out of school.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, not all of it was my fault. I am an undiagnosed ADHD person. So,
Sure.
As we can tell from last episode when you had to take the bottle caps away from me.
That's funny.
We want to rate these. So The Raven. How many crazy Jack Nicholsons out of 5?
Oh, just out of 5.
Just out of 5. I like 5.
Okay. Why? What's the 5?
Because 5 is what they use on Letterboxd. And I base when I watch a movie, I rate it on Letterboxd before I come to the podcast.
I got you. So, The Raven, if I had to give it out of 5 crazy Jack Nicholsons, I think I would probably rate it, I'm going to say a 2.5, but I'm probably leaning a little more towards a 3. Maybe a 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think what saved it for me was the comedy.
Yeah.
That was kind of throughout it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I'd say I'd give it about 3.5 crazy Jack Nicholsons. Masque of the Red Death.
Yes. We should figure these things out before we start the podcast.
How many flaming gorillas? How many flaming gorillas out of 5 would you give this one?
I got to tell you, I like flaming gorillas. So I don't know why.
It sounds like a band name.
The Flaming Gorillas.
Did you get that new Flaming Gorillas album? Yeah.
So that one, I would probably give that one a 4.5, Flaming Gorillas. I really liked the story. I thought the story was really cool. I liked the idea of these different death characters, you know, and that's what this is about. You know, there were fantastic actors. So, yeah, I mean, if I had to judge it based off of what I would watch, you know, it wouldn't do very good. But since I watched it and it entertained me and I thought there were some really cool things about it, yeah, 4.5.
Cool. I'd give it 3.5 Flaming Gorillas also.
Okay.
The end saved it for me.
Yeah, the end was good.
I was really like, I don't know, but it really picked up. And that seemed to be the theme for both of these movies, is that they started off a little slow.
Right.
And then they get going.
Right.
But it's just modern sentimentality. That's what our brain is like. Our brains function on modern film now. And so we kind of have to revert. I mean, Ben-Hur is considered one of the greatest movies of all time.
Right. You're right. That is part of the problem with going back and watching older movies now. I go into it thinking like it's a modern movie. I'm comparing it to how a modern movie is put together and entertains me. But it's not the same, and you can't compare it that way. And you have to look at it, you know, for the time and you know, what's going on. Now, Red Death, it would have been a 5 for me for sure if when the Red Death, when he pulled the mask off of Red Death, if that would have been Peter Lorre standing there, I would have lost it.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so cool. I don't know why I thought you were going to say Rick James. Oh, Rick. He just pulls the mask off. Charlie Murphy. All right.
Awesome. Yeah. So
cool.
Good shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you want to say?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, if you would like to request a movie for us to talk about in future episodes, sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com and then search up My Dad's Movie Podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I think we're even on Threads now too.
We are on Threads now, which I need you to show me how to. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's different. Yeah, and you can also check out these episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else where you can find podcasts.
Yeah,
So,
in fact, this is new. We now have a little store on Printify.
oh yeah,
We have a little merch store.
yeah,
And you can go on there and see some of the stuff we've got.
absolutely.
You can buy it.
And if you get lost, you can find our link tree on Facebook, and that'll take you to anything you could possibly need.
Yeah.
So
everything's on the link tree.
it's all there. All right, we ready to get out of here?
Let's do it.
All right.
And we're gone.
How the hell should I know?
Peter Lorre in the house. Thanks for listening to My Dad's Movie Podcast. We had a lot of fun creating it, and we hope you enjoyed it.
For more content, please check us out at Facebook and YouTube at My Dad's Movie Podcast, or visit our website, mydadsmoviepodcast.com.
And always, if you'd like to help support us, please check out our Patreon at My Dad's Movie Podcast.
Thanks for listening, everybody.